Shalom Akim. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory unto Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. Call halal Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, great millstone. Shalom to you, sincere Akim out there pushing his word in truth and sincerity, constantly and diligently putting out studio shows and ensuring that you're doing everything you can to ensure that you're of the elect. Remember, we can never go far enough. So, shalom to you brothers watching this video right now. So, getting right into it, there's a Russia Today article that was published about 2 days ago that, I want to get into basically on UFOs. So this is, the title of the article says, "Not from Earth. Navy pilot recalls encounter with tic-tac-toe UFO." This is published on December 19th, 2017. Says, in the aftermath of the Pentagon disclosing videos of U.S. Air Force sightings of unidentified, inexplicable flying objects, a former Navy pilot has come forward to reveal details of his encounter with a UFO. Says, Commander David Fravor, who was a Navy pilot for 18 years, told the Washington Post he saw the mysterious flying object while on a routine training mission at the Pacific coast between San Diego and Ensenada, Mexico in November 2004. Fravor said he was ordered by command to do some real-world tasking as they were unidentified flying object descending from 80,000 feet to 20,000 feet and then disappearing. So basically, this Commander David Fravor, there was some unexplainable things going on, right? Some unidentified flying objects doing some unexplainable things, going 80,000 feet to 20,000 feet and then disappearing. So he was commanded to go and research this and see what's going on, right? Reading on, it says, officials told the former fighter pilot, who was commanding officer of a Navy squadron of FA-18 Hornet fighter planes at the time, they had encountered dozens of the objects over the previous few weeks. The object was roughly the same size as Fravor's plane, but it had no wings and looked like a tic-tac mint. It was just hanging close to the water, he said. So here's a gif of this so-called encounter. So you got a little small thing, small object there in the crosshairs, in this auto crosshairs, right? Says it just hanging close to the water, he said. As I get closer, as my nose is starting to pull back, it accelerates and is gone, he said. Fascinated, I've ever seen anything in my life. We turn around, say, let's go see what's in the water, and there's nothing, just blue water. Interestingly, he noted it created no rotor wash. The air turbulence caused by the blades, it says, interesting, he noted it created no rotor wash, which is the air turbulence caused by the blades of a helicopter. This is revolutionary technology to be able to accelerate, go up and down. Think about the advances that would bring to mankind, he added. So, this was a spiritual object. This wasn't no man-made craft. This wasn't made with inferior metals and inferior technology, okay? This was a spiritual, so-called spiritual, well, not so-called, but this was spiritual technology, okay? Spiritual things. This was the angels of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai in their chariots, which are those UFOs. Says the Defense Department analyzed the encounter, but what the object was or what it was doing remains a mystery. Says, I think someone should have looked into it, having talked to some of the other folks. It's a big frustration that's coming out now. It wasn't discussed back in 2004, Fravor said. So now this is finally coming out after the Defense Department decided to release this information, which they constantly hold this information. They withhold all kinds of information. They don't want to make it to the public. Here it is, 2017, down near 2018. Okay, and now they're releasing some footage from 2004 or 2004. It's like it says, footage of the incident was later released by the U.S. Defense Department. So now it's finally being released. So here's footage. Here's footage of this thing doing some going in and out of the crosshairs real quick. And I'll put this video in the description box. Hold on, Sluggy. Bear with me for one moment here. Yeah, see that? So just like that, and it says the object suddenly and instantaneously is out of the. It accelerates so fast that the sensor can't even keep up with it. You know, so with that being said, this is clearly nothing that mankind can create. All right, now like I said, I'll put that video in the description box so you brothers can see it, firsthand and better analyze it. It says on Saturday it emerged the Pentagon spent $22 million to study UFOs between 2007 and 2012. So, the brother Mothbot, he did a video on this article. I'm actually going to put that also in the description box so you brothers can watch that video. He goes into this. So, like I said, this just further proves that, these devils, okay, they know. They have information on stuff that they did, on all the studies they did, all the things that they had found. But they ain't going to release that. They ain't going to release that information to the public because they wanted people to be dumbed down, And every now and then they might throw something out here, like some certain footage or whatever like that. But there's so much footage out there, and so many of these so-called UFO sightings out there. Especially with new age technology, it's so hard to hide it. I mean, anybody nowadays has a phone with a camera on it, so if they see something strange, they're gonna automatically whip out that phone and start recording it. So, but these damn devils, they know about this stuff, and these things, they're spiritual objects. Okay, they're not no inferior objects made with this inferior steel or inferior metals. So like if you look at something like this here, this is off the movie District 9, right? And I believe in this movie they were eventually able to take this big ship down. If you look at the ship in comparison to these helicopters, I mean, it's minute. Look at the buildings in the background. Look how big this ship is, right? But you gotta remember now. These are spiritual ships. These aren't ships that are made with this inferior metal that Esau thinks he can use guns to take down, or missiles or whatever like that to take down. These are I believe spiritual celestial beings. Or I'm sorry, terrestrial. So you ain't gonna. The things that they can do are things that your brain can't even comprehend, and there's been instances where prophets and people have seen these UFOs, and I'm gonna get into that. So without further ado, when we get right into it, this is 2 Kings 2:9, and it came to pass when they were gone over that Elijah said unto Elisha, ask what I shall do for thee before I be taken away from thee. And Elisha said, I pray thee, let a double portion of thy spirit be upon me. And he said, thou hast asked a hard thing, nevertheless, if thou see me when I am taken from thee, it shall be so unto thee, but if not, it shall not be so. So basically, Elijah and Elisha were walking together, and Elisha knew that Elijah was getting ready to be taken up into the heavens. And Elisha asked if Elisha could have a double portion of Elijah's spirit. So he said, look, if you see me go into heaven, it'll be so. And we're going to read on, right? We're going to read on and see what happens. It says, verse 11, and it came to pass, as they still went on and talked, that behold, there appeared a chariot of fire and horses of fire, and parted them both asunder. And Elijah went up by a whirlwind in heaven. So that spiritual object, that UFO, came in and beamed Elijah up into the heavens. All right. And Elijah saw it, and he cried, my father, the chariot of Israel, and the horsemen thereof. And he saw him no more, and he took hold of his own clothes and rent them into pieces. So basically, that's why I had this picture here. You see this beam of light coming down and destroying this decrepit house. This was almost like matter of what Elisha sees, or what we can kind of visually see. So this beam came down and sucked Elijah up, into a chariot, right? Into a spiritual object, into a spiritual so-called UFO. And Elisha saw it. you know, and it was described as a chariot of fire. Okay, and those UFOs that are constantly being documented, those are the vehicles of the angels, you know. Next precept I want to get, this is Isaiah 6:2. Above it stood the seraphims. Each one had 6 wings. With twain he covered his face, and with twain he covered his feet, and with twain he did fly. You know, seraphims. Okay, those are the those are the UFOs. You know, those are the objects in which the angels, you know, ride in, and you know, those are the objects that are being caught on camera and caught on footage. It says a serpent, fiery serpent. It says majestic being with 6 wings, human hands or voices in attendance upon God. All right, so basically, you know, they're actually, you know, like basically a ship, like a giant ship, but it's a spiritual ship. You know, it's not made with these with like as a car is made or as a plane is made. You know. And that's those objects, those UFOs, those chariots. Those are what's coming to bring destruction on this earth. That's what's coming to seal up the elect. All right, they're coming to bring fire. They're coming to bring salvation. They're coming to bring destruction. All right, and we're with faith waiting for them for that moment. You know. This is Zechariah 5:1. So let's see what Zechariah is seeing. This is Zechariah 5:1. Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. So Zechariah is seeing a flying roll up in the sky. Okay, and when you look at the word roll, it says a roll, volume. All right, to roll away, to roll, almost like a scroll, right? And if you look like a scroll, how it's rolled up, and when you look at this right here, right? You could say this is almost like a roll, you know, rolled up. It's like, so, you know, that little small tic tac is like a roll. Okay, so that's in like manner of what Zechariah is seeing. He says, and he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. And it was flying. And this ain't, you know, this isn't no fucking flying bread roll, you know, or an actual flying book, because it says a roll, a book, or writing, or basically a scroll, right? It's not, wasn't like an actual flying scroll. It was an actual you know, UFO, right? And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof is 10 cubits. You know, and they say a cubit is basically the length of your forearm. Basically the length of a forearm, right? About 18 inches. But, you know, that he was, you know, depending on how close he was to the chariot or how close the chariot was to him, you know, that thing could have been massive. I mean, if it's overhead and that's 18 cubits long, I mean, that's taking up the whole sky. But I mean, if you're looking, you know, how many, like if you're looking far out, you know, and you see a far out and it's, you know, 18 cubits long, that's even more massive. I mean, look at the moon. The moon's so far away, and it's as, you know, we were to give a rough estimate of how big it is, you know what I mean? But that's, you know, so many fucking miles away, you know? He so likes to put a number on how many years away is, all that bullshit, but not to get too far off topic. The point is, you know, it was a very big, massive thing that Zechariah seen. Verse 3, Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on that side according to it, or as on this side according to it, and everyone that swears shall be cut off as on this side according to it. So, you know, the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai, he's going to bring these chariots and bring these flying rolls, bring these UFOs, these terrestrial seraphims, and he's going to bring these to pretty much destroy, all right, the people and deliver the elect. You know, so with that, I hope you brothers were edified. You know, I pray that you brothers stay strong in the faith and you continue pushing. And you know, if you brothers have any other scriptures that you want to put out, I just want to do a quick lesson on it. You know, so if you brothers have any other scriptures that I didn't hit, you know, hey, put it on the comment board. You know, so with that, I want to say shalom.